We're learning the Sikha Hadran of Tafshin Nun. We're holding the Sikha Seif, last Sif of the Sikha.
Page 128.
Yeah, page 128. Okay, so a summary before we continue and conclude the Sikha. The Rebbe explained regarding the Moshiach Mashiach that in the words of the Rambam, you see that he's addressing two different things. He's addressing the condition of the world, Chlal, and he's also addressing the level of Yidden. The Yidden are not going to be just part of the rest of the world when Mashiach comes. You may think this is in Tafshinun. This is Sefer Sichos Tafshinun. You may think that since Lasad Lavai, the world will be a perfect place. So today, when the world is imperfect and the world is a hell of a hester, so of course, Yidden are a step above everything else. Yidden have a special connection. But once Mashiach comes, and now everything in the world, the essence, the very essence of Hashem is revealed in everything that exists in the world. So why should Yidden be any different than any other entity that exists in the world? Mashiach is going to come for the entire world or only for the Yidden? For the entire world. So if it's for the entire world, we're all the same. Here what the Rebbe said, if you pay close attention to the words of the Rambam divides it. The Rambam talks about the fact, the nature of the world, there'll be no harm and no destruction. But then the Rambam says regarding Yidden, the Yidden will be very wise. And they'll comprehend the greatness of Hashem. Then the Rambam concludes the famous conclusion of Sefer Hayat, Mala Aretz Deis Avakamim Lamchasim. The world is going to be filled with the knowledge of Hashem. It's not the same thing. The connection, the comprehension of a Yid and Hashem, and the level that the world will experience in Gilead Elokos is not the same at all. What does this mean? Why isn't it the same? Huh? Okay, so the Nakuda, you have it. Yeah, we're going to start with Yud. It's from Chai Yisara, yeah? But there's two sikhs. One there's the Hadran, and then there's the sikh of the Shluchim. So you have to find the one that's the Hadran. Okay, so the Vart is like this. When we speak about Ein Oid Mulvadoi, the revelation of the essence of Hashem in the world, it doesn't mean that this is what the existence of the world is. Anytime you say that there's a revelation of the Eibishter in the world, what it means is that the world is batal. Because the truth, together, the existence of Teva Ilam is not it. It has no existence at all. It's batal. However, in relation to Yidden, we're not saying that the Eibishter is revealed, and therefore Yidden become batal. No. What we're actually saying is that once the essence of Hashem is revealed with Hashem, and his true identity is Hashem, he's a chelik. It's a whole different story. Where the Rebbe speaks about this. Then regarding Goyim, if you remember, we went to whole discussion. What's going to happen with all the Goyim of the world? So the Gemara Sanhedrin brings a few opinions. A third of them will be wiped out. All of them, the sinners, or maybe only the ones that did cause persecution for Yidden. This is a concept that's being discussed by the Rebbe in a number of places. Geula for Yidden and Geula for Goyim. So here, the Rebbe is saying, if you look in the words of the Rambam, you see this distinction. I think before we go to Eis Yud, let's learn out of 40, where the Rebbe points out another detail that clarifies the point. This distinction between the world in general and the Yidden. The exact words where the Rambam, there's a difference in the language that he uses regarding Yidden and the language that he uses regarding the world. When it comes to the condition of the entire world, what does the Rambam say? The occupation of the entire world will be to know Hashem. So which word is the Rebbe highlighting here? Occupation, asek. Now, however, regarding Yidden, what does the Rambam write? Sheyiyu Yisrael Chachamim G'daylim, who they will be, an identity. It doesn't talk about occupation. Right? That's Yiyu. That's the word that Rebbe highlights. Yidden will be great, wise people to know Hashem. So here's the difference. Ki Asek, when you use the term occupation, so now, well, there's different levels of occupation, but over here it means the ultimate occupation, not an occupation like a 9-to-5 job or any other kind of occupation. We're talking about Asek to the greatest degree. You're full, even if you're occupied, then you're involved in something with your entire essence, with the whole existence. And the way that Rambam says it is so it's not an asek like a person has, and then there's other things going on. No, loss of love. When it says asek, it means there's nothing else. I'm busy with this because what else is there? There's the Eibishter, V'zeu. But nevertheless, and as I heard, it's Hashem Bulvad. So the Rambam asks 3 words to make sure Ella, and then if he didn't get it yet, he writes again Bulvad. There's nothing else going on besides the Eibishter when Mashiach comes.
Nobody's working.
Nope. You get learning and touch schmack. What do you mean? Pnimius, Chetzenius, whatever you want. All Eibishter, from top to bottom. Okay, so but however, this is all describing, this is not yet describing the Yidden. This is describing the condition of what the world is going to be busy with. That means even the Goyim, the animals, everything in the world, the Teva of the world. Because it uses the term Asek, what does that mean? Occupied with something, even if a person is occupied with something which is extremely important. And let's say a person is making a chasana for his child. So he's by the chuppah of his only child. He's very all in the middle. He's going to do something else. He's going to listen to another conversation. Of course not. This is only Asek. There's nothing else that exists at this time. But nevertheless, as deep as that is, there's who I am, and there's what I'm occupied with. True, it's very deeply connected to me, but you can't say that this. So therefore, when you get to the world, with the Gmasiba Nimshu Shakala it's it being. Elamai, because the world senses the truth of the Eibishter's existence. So therefore, the world drops its own existence and it becomes occupied with the Eibishter's existence. But it doesn't mean that when Mashiach comes, you're going to start seeing the Teva is a Lakus. Depends what that means. It's not like by a Yid that the Yid is a chelik lekam mamish. The Yid is a shtik Eibishter. That's not what the world is. Yes, the Teva has no independence, and the Teva can't exist without the Eibishter creating it every moment. So the Teva is bottle. That's the point. The reason why Teva is a lakos is because the Teva is bottle. So that bittul will be fully expressed when Mashiach comes. That the world won't be busy with preserving its own existence, which is the Teva Rishon of everything that exists in the world. The basic Teva of everything is to preserve its existence. Instead, everything in the world will recognize that my Metzias is not it. The Eibishter's Metzias is what it really is. So I don't exist. So you'll become completely bottled. That's the Asek. But still, nevertheless, the Asek ultimately still means that there's the Welt, and the Welt is going out of its existence and becoming bottled to Hashem's existence. Hashem can be Yisrael, Namar Aloshen. Regarding Yidden, the Rambam doesn't say that Yidden are going to be Isaac and Ladasas Hashem. Regarding Yidden, the Rambam says Yiyu. They'll be. Lay Isaac. It's not occupation. Because here the Rambam's telling you, Shizu, he mitziyusam. This is the Yid. The Yid is an Neshama, the Yid is a Chelik Lekam Imal. There are other layers to the existence of the Yid. There's a Neshama, there's a Guf, there's an Nefesh Bahamas that covers over the true identity of the Yid. So as Managolas, you could try to convince yourself that you're something other than the Neshama. When Mashiach comes, the truth of you, the truth of who you are, is revealed. It's not an Asek. You're not because the best highest, the office, the dog game, everything in the world. We learned, if you remember, that Rebbe explained that pasuk goes and going. Remember that? Rebbe asked that question. How can we see and they're going to come to the Beis Hamikdash? So even to get to going, it says that. But it's we have to studying. It means that I'm going to study a subject. I'm going to created person in this world, but I have the Eibusher stated. Hence, it's the other way around. Yid is going to be connected to the Nivra. He's a guf and nefesh b'amis. Then there's the Teire, which is the Eibusher's Chochmah, and you have to utilize the Gili of the Teire to reveal the connection after the Eibusher. When Moshiach comes, mashpi on Teire. It's going to be different. The what? Every year. The what?
I think we learned everything. Moshiach was going to be an embodiment of the Eibusher and the group.
The Mashiach, by extension, Mashiach reveals it in all Yidden. The Mashiach is the Yechida Klalis, and then he reveals it in every single Yid. Okay. Oh, so I was going to start Tzif but because we learned one out, it's such a geschmack out. Let's do another one. Another beautiful pearl. Another beautiful pearl here. Take a look. Auto 45, yeah. So the Rebbe's Medayik, another thing. What is the analogy that it gives for revelation of Hashem in the world? Mayim, water. When it speaks about it doesn't say Mayim Yamachasa. Why is that? This is another. Shemayim Reim Al Teira. When it speaks about the world, then it says Mayim, that means Teira. So you ask what the world's going to be occupied with. Here the Rebbe is saying, yeah, it's Mayim, it's Teira. A Mayim El Teira. That's what the Gemara says in Bava Kama. And the Gemara uses a strong expression. Water is only Teira. That's what it is. That's the true concept of what water is. Now, Mitziyusum Shal Yisrael, Yilamayim Ma Teira. But Yidden are higher than Teira. The source of the neshama of a yid is before everything, not only before the existence of the world. Before means not in time. Before means in level, in the essence of Hashem. Before everything, even before Teira, as it clearly says in the Medrash. So Kivin Sheisrael v'kutshabricha kol echad v'naila yesem eraisav kutshabricha kol echad. And the Teira with Hashem. Kivin Yisrael Kodmul Teira. Because if you are on a level higher, so the Yidden are greater, Yidden are deeper. This is one of the things it says. You even have a me'en of this concept. Is Teira. You can tell them that we're continuing the already past this man. I don't want to. What's the word that the Rebbe said about Simchas Teira? That Simchas Teira means that the Teira freit sich. What happened? The Teira wants to be happy, but it doesn't have 2 feet to dance. So the Yid picks up the Teira and he brings the Teira to dance. The feet, Yid's feet becomes the feet of the Teira to dance. Right? That's the word the Rebbe said. So the Rebbe explained what's the significance of this word. It sounds like a cute word. I mean, if I don't want to say such a thing, but if you tell me that a pre-1A teacher came up with this word, nice idea that you have the Yid, which is going to be the feet of the Torah, a nice, cute vertela. So the Rebbe says, no. It's not just a cute vertela. It's a very deep idea. What it's saying is that the level of connection that the Torah has to Hashem is very deep, but it doesn't have that deep connection that a Yid has to dance. A Yid is able to dance. That the dancing of a Yid is deeper than the Torah itself. And therefore, you're going to make the Torah dance. When you learn Torah, you elevate the Torah. There's one concept where it depends on what level a person is. When a person is chas v'shalom not connected at all, so that gives you the connection to Hashem. But once a Yid reveals his neshama, then it actually works the other way around. Then your neshama, which is on fire and is dancing, is far to the Frierdiker Rebbe that gives you the hesber also, gives you the explanation. What's the mile of Yidden over Torah? Oh, he's always quoted. Rebbe always quotes this thing. It says in the Medrash, "Machshavnu sheYisrael kadmu chol davar Yidden are higher than Torah." What's the concept? What's the explanation to this? The explanation is Yidden are a living being. A Yid is a personality. It's a live neshama. Torah is chachmas eretzaynai, but it's not a life. It's not a living being. It's not an embodiment of the existence of Hashem in a living existence. It's alive. A Yid could dance as a Yid. A Yid could express the life of the Eibishter in a whole life. Not Torah. Torah is chachmas eretzaynai. So on one hand, there's a big mile to Torah. Why? Because Torah is always connected to the source. It never deviates. Because it has no life, it has no personality, so Torah never deviates. It's exactly what the Eibishter said and what the Eibishter wants, and it's rigid, it stays exactly loyal to the source. It's a very big mile in Torah. A Yid, chas v'shalom, could go off the path, and then he has to utilize Torah to illuminate his life and keep him on the path. On the other hand, when the Yid lives Torah, so now what's revealed is that the neshama of a Yid is alive, much more powerful than Torah. So that level of who Yidden are is going to be revealed when Mashiach comes. So when the Rambam speaks about the Welt in general, he says that the world will receive from Torah. The world will receive the mayim of Torah to give them the das and Hashem. Regarding Yidden, the Rambam is medayik not to mention this concept of Torah and Deya. The Torah is a marshal for the day that the Yidden are going to have, because the Yidden are going to be deeper than the Torah. The Yidden are going to be dancing. It says, "Last love Mashiach comes." They're just going to make a machal, the dance for the tzaddikim, which refers to every single Yid. V'amechol tzaddikim. At the end of the Gemara in Tainis, wherever we're all going to dance together with David, and David is going to say, "These are Hina Lekeinu Zeh," pointing to the tzaddikim, saying, "Hina Lekeinu Zeh." It's going to be the beautiful dance when Mashiach comes. Get ready for the dance. Huh?
Are we going to have to come on?
The Torah, you're going to be mechadish in Torah. You're not going to be meisif in Torah. You're not going to be higher than Torah. When Mashiach comes, especially after Tchias HaMesim, where the ultimate mila of who a Yid is will be revealed. Dika mile the same is after Tchias HaMesim, where the Neshama and the Guf, which is completely above Torah, will be revealed. So then the fact that Yidden are going to be occupied with Torah is being mashpia on Torah. Chayra. Just like it says on the Neshama and Zonis when Guf, that everything's going to be upside down. Yidden are going to be higher and going to be mashpia on Torah. Chayra, that's in it.
Will the Gilui be through Torah?
Maybe that's still going to be. I'm not sure here that I was pointing out. I know you're not going to have a direct connection above Torah.
We have that over time. So the Gilui we have now is through Torah.
Today it comes through Torah. You have to say it comes through Torah to one, but over here that I was saying the ikir is higher than Torah. That's the word here. Higher than Torah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Finish the sikha. See another few, a little bit inside the Sikha. Isyod. So when the Rambam discusses these two things, the Yidden and the world in general, what's the last words of the Rambam? Not regarding Yidden, it's regarding the Welt, regarding the world. Based on what the Rebbe is explaining here, why? The Yidden are should be the focus, and the Yidden are greater. So why would the Rambam finish off in the peak regarding Yidden? Why is he finishing off regarding the Oretz, the world? So the reason is, it doesn't speak about the Yidden in the end. Because the Rambam is loyal, he's faithful to the theme of the Sefer. Yeah, there's a very big mile to Yidden, but that's not what the theme of this Sefer is. The Rambam is a Sefer Halacha. Halacha means giving you instruction how you live the most perfect life according to the truth of Hashem in a world. That's the concept of halacha. Halichas olam lo, to live in a world. L'chein Messiah v'chaisem b'ha'ilu sheyeh ba'olam ha'idei v'dasan shel Yisrael b'kiyum halachas hatera. So therefore, the Rambam concludes with the last point: what's going to be the ultimate truth of the world's existence that comes about through fulfilling halachas of Torah in the world. Mala ha'aretz deis avai kamayim liyam machasam. Aval ha'ilu shenase b'Yisrael, the great level that Yidden are going to have, that's way beyond what the world is. Ein shayach kol kach lahalachas haTorah. That's not so much connected to halachas. Halachas is regarding a Yid, how do I operate in the world? A Yid, when Moshiach comes and the true existence of who a Yid is revealed, so the Yid doesn't even need to be instructed, do this, do that. I mean, this is also connected to this point that RAbbi always says regarding the mitzvahs b'teilis loss of lavai. Moshiach comes, you won't need the mitzvah, which means you won't need the command. It's going to be automatic because the neshama of a Yid is going to naturally sense the truth. It's like a me'en of the concept that Rebbe always brings from the Rebbe Rashabi. He writes in Chanoich Lanar that he trained his guf, he trained his body to always be according to what it says, that his body naturally acted that way. He didn't have to even remind himself or remember, what do I do now? What do I do next? Which page are we on the Siddur? His body was naturally trained. Over here could be it's even more than that. It's still all regarding halachas. His body was trained for halacha. But over here we're saying that when Mashiach comes, the neshama is going to live naturally its own self, which is the Eibishter in him, the true existence of who he is. So that's not a theme which is connected to halachas haTorah. Mitzvah. The concept of the level of the Yidden is, or the level of the world rather, is the schar mitzvah for the mitzvah song. That's what I was referring to over here. It sounds like Rebbe is saying that this the level of the Yidden, the level that the Yidden come to is a schar mitzvah, but it's not the mitzvah itself. That's what it looks like. It's not clear over here to me. One second. It looks like what the Rebbe is saying over here is the fact that Yidden will have this great revelation. It's not what the mitzvah itself is about. The mitzvah is about affecting the world, but in the end of the day, who's the one that's preparing and bringing the world to its ultimate truth that's going to be revealed when Mashiach comes? The Yidden that did this for all the generations. So because of Yidden doing this for all generations, Yidden are going to be zeichet that invested so much, now they'll be zeichet something more than what the world is. The schar for the Yid is that his truth of who he is, his neshama will be revealed. So that's a schar mitzvah. Sefer Rambam is not a sefer of schar v'aynish. It's not a sefer of midrashim. It's a sefer discussing actual halachas. So therefore the Rambam concludes with the halachas as it relates to the world. The level of the Yid, that's the schar. The Yid gets a schar for being instrumental in making this happen through all the datas of Galus. That's the point. Okay, we're middle of the Indian here, but I think we'll finish this Indian next week. Actually, you know what? Next week, maybe we'll have to continue. We're going to be learning maybe Hilchos Beis HaBechira. 3 weeks, Hilchos Beis HaBechira. Let's see. We have to speak to the
What's going to be the schedule next week? It's up to RAbbi Oster.
No, meaning last time there was a
We learned after Meyer.
the Heiliger Gemara that used to give Hilchos Beis HaBechira every night. Yeah. So I'm not sure who that he moved that.